Hello, my friends out there in Cindy's Corner. I hope you are doing great today and are ready for story time. Our story time today is an old folk tale, and it's retold by Jan Brandt, and it's just a great story. So, if you have the book, The Mitten, go get it so that you can follow along. And remember, while they're getting their book, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe and share with your friends so they don't miss story time with Cindy. Here's our title page. This is a level 3-9. So my AR testers, this is a level 3-9. Kind of goes with our sequence. So you're going to have to remember what we're doing here. So pay attention to the sequence. Don't laugh too hard. This is a Ukrainian, I can't even say it, Ukrainian folk tale, and it's adapted by Jan Brandt, and she is our author and our illustrator. And right here you have all of the things where you come up and find, and looky here. Here's the mitten. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool and white as snow. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, what's going to happen if they're white? Tell your neighbor. That's right. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens. And finally, Baba made them. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound. But then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow, and I left behind. Uh-oh. Here it is. Can you see it? Left it behind. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size. So he decided to stay. There he is. See that? Found it. Decided to stay. Can you see okay? A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. So we got a mole, now a rabbit. inside one mitten. There they are. Uh-oh. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with pricklies, they made room. So now the hedgehog is in. Have a mole, rabbit, hedgehog. Uh-oh, what do we have here? As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. His talons are his sharp claws. Oh. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left. But when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. Come on in. Uh-oh. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in when the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth. They gave the fox lots of room. My goodness, now we got a fox in there. What's going to happen next? A giant bear humbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size. But Baba's good knitting held fast. So Grandma knitted it really good, didn't she? Because it never ripped out. It held fast, tight, and they're all inside. Here comes Bear. You think he's going to fit? Along came a meadow mouse. No bigger than an acorn. Itty bitty. She wiggled into the one space left on the nose. and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous, what's enormous? Big, great big, enormous, gigantic sneeze. Ah, 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 choo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. On the way home, Nikki saw a white shape in the distance. It's flying through the air. It was the lost mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky. He's running to get it. As he ran to catch the snow white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. What happened? Here's one mitten, and here's the other one. Now, my question to you, your little challenge. You can draw you a mitten, draw all the animals in it, and then what happened to get all the animals out of the mitten? Tell me. What did you think? What did you think was going to happen when a certain animal came into the mitten? Did you think they were all going to fit? What made the mitten come off? Share with your friends. Talk about it. Draw you a mitten and put the animals in the mitten. And if you draw a little bitty one, are they all going to fit? No, because your paper's not going to stretch. So go ahead and draw your mitten. Share it with me on Cindy's Corner. I can't wait to see what your mittens have inside. And do you think it was a very good idea to have white mittens? Have you ever had white mittens? I haven't. I definitely don't want to lose them in the snow because my hands would get cold. Okay. I hope you enjoyed Storytime today. And remember, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and share me with your friends. And boys and girls, don't forget, most important, give somebody a hug and tell them you love them.